Okay, move the camera. Once again, it's a workman's eye view. If you can't quite see understand what you're seeing, you're looking straight down at the exact angle that I use when removing material on this Burking belt grinder. So I've shown it from an oblique angle before, off to the side, but this first attempt at this, hope it goes well. Back of my mind, something's making me nervous here. I'm not sure quite what, but I'll give it a go. It's a 1-inch belt. Looks like we got about 1 3/8 chunk wide to work on. And basically anything that's not covered with tape needs to go. We're going to have a slight rounding over a little bit. It'll be obvious when I do it, but you don't want to completely flatten that. And remember that there's a radius on this, so if you get what you think is a flat surface, it's actually dished a little bit, and we don't want to take off too much material on the blade. And now the reason for this extra here on the grab end is going to start making sense when you see it go to work. So there's no way to avoid both the vacuum and the machine itself noise-wise. So I'll just dive in, watch as much of it as you can tolerate, and we'll just see what happens here. Let the machine power down here. I thought I might as well, this is an odd thing to have in a pipe video, but I mean this entire process isn't something that you'd normally encounter, so I thought I'd give some information as well as just make it a spectacle. And that is a recommendation that when you use tools like this, you'll notice there's now a keel, a sharp line down the center here that's almost exactly centered, and that I'm going after this in increments and constantly keeping everything square with itself. The temptation when using power tools like this is just to jam it in there, and you kind of get drunk with the power of the machine, and you lose track of where you are sometimes, and instant death to your project if that happens. So the best way I've found to control that is to incrementally go from side to side, top to bottom, and keep all of your squares and rectangles and diamonds, whatever you're working with, symmetrical and looking good. You kind of want it to be attractive even though it's nowhere near being finished. And that will keep your head in the right place and allow you to avoid catastrophic errors. So with that, we'll fire it up and get going again. Okay, I looked up, saw the timer, and it's up to almost 10 minutes of this, and I think that's enough for even an enthusiast is going to start going crazy in a minute. But you see the process, how this works. You notice that there is no tugging or jerking or for as aggressive as this is, it's not a physical exercise. I'm far from a robust physical specimen, and my fingers have no problem moving this around and feeling secure about it. It never feels like it's going to get jerked out of my hand or something. So anyway, I'm now going to shut off the camera and finish thinning the blade. You can see where we're headed, and it shouldn't take too much longer. And that'll be it for this particular installment. And when I see you again, that'll be cut down. I'll be back at the bench. Alrighty then.